Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got something incredible for you. An English study plan that will drastically change the way you learn. If you are ready to see fast and effective results with just 20 minutes a day, continue watching this video. The routine I've created for you is divided into 4 parts. We will play with input and output. Now, what are these? Let me explain. So, input in learning is something that we put inside of our heads. For example, watching, listening, and reading. On the other hand, we have output, something that we put outside. So, something that we have learned, we processed, and now we are producing. So, output is speaking and writing, something that you need to give. I'm super excited to share this routine with you because I really do believe it will drastically change the way you learn, and it's gonna be extremely effective if you really apply it, because remember that consistency is the key. You need to be consistent. For example, imagine that you go to the gym. You go to the gym once or twice. Do you have the result? Not really. You have to be consistent. The same with language learning. And with this routine, I will show you how you can fall in love with the language that you are learning and how you can really achieve fast and effective results. So I really can't wait. Let's get started. So let's jump right into the first part of our routine, the input 5-minute session. Sounds complicated? No worries. All you need to do is to find a video or to find a podcast, something that you really like listening to or watching. What I want to underline here is that you really need to like it. Choose something that it's about your hobby, your passion, something that you really like. For example, I love self-development, psychology, so when I learn languages, I always choose something in that field because I want to connect my passion to language learning. This is how we fall in love with the language. Don't just listen to some audios for English learning. It's not really effective. Choose something that you really like. And all I want you to do is to relax, watch and listen carefully. So here in this step number 1, we don't put our focus on intonation, stress, grammar. All of that we're gonna do later. The first step is just chill, just watch, listen and observe carefully. Once you are chilled, I want you to try to catch from 4 to 5 words from what you are listening to. Remember that it's just 5 minutes. During these 5 minutes, you need to catch from 4 to 5 words and write them down. You can write them down in your notebook, on your cell phone, wherever, just write them down. Here, don't worry about them, just write them down and that's it. Simply remember, don't overwhelm yourself with the amount of words. From 4 to 5 words a day, it's absolutely enough. Sometimes it can be even 2 or 3 words. What we want here is quality over quantity. So sometimes if you even catch just 1 word, it's absolutely enough. It's up to you how you feel, alright? So the first section of our study plan was just input. We just received the information. Now we are moving on to the 5-minute writing session. Grab your notebook or your cell phone or wherever you want. You already have your 4 or 5 words. Now what I want you to do is to write sentences with these words. This is how we go directly from input to output, meaning you've learned something new and you will practice it immediately. Not in 1 week, not in 1 month. Now, immediately. I've learned something new and now I need to know how to use it, especially with some more complicated structures like phrasal verbs or idiom or fixed phrases. Sometimes we may understand them, but how can I use them is another question. So this is how we connect it. And look, it's just 7 minutes or 8 minutes of our practice. And what a great work we have done already. Let's say that I wrote the word comfortable. Yes, I have comfortable here. Let's say that I don't understand this word, so I check it immediately in Google. I really do recommend using Oxford Learner's Dictionary, American version and also British version is there, but I just used American one, and check the meaning just in English. You don't want to use your mother tongue, so you check the meaning and you write a sentence with this word. So I had a word comfortable, so I write, my bed is extremely comfortable. Make sure that you write sentences, that you use these words in a context that it's about your life. This is very important because We create association in our brain, and this helps reinforce our memory. When I connect a word with a situation from my life, it's gonna be much easier for me to remember it, to memorize it. Remember that step 2 is just 5 minutes, so most probably 5 minutes have already passed. So no worries, you have your 4 or 5 sentences in your notebook, and that's perfectly fine. But if you still have time, because with the passage of the time, you're gonna do it much faster. So if you still have like 2 or 3 minutes, or maybe 1 minute, remember to set your timer on your cell phone, just describe your day. Describe maybe something that you would like to do in the future, your plans, your dreams, whatever comes to your mind. Just write whatever comes to your mind in English. We have some input, we have some output, so now it's time for the 5-minute session of imitation practice. What do I mean by saying imitation? Get ready to boost your pronunciation and speaking skills. The wonderful technique that I'm gonna literally show you here, it's called the shadowing technique. It's my favorite. Let me explain to you what it is and how to do it, and later on I'm gonna show you. So you want to come back to the video that you used in the first step, or to the podcast that you used in the first step. In the first step I told you, don't be so worried about intonation, stress, grammar and all of this stuff, just relax. But now we're gonna get the work done. We're gonna play a short part of the video and we're gonna repeat after native speakers, mimicking everything: emotions, gestures, intonation, stress, and so on and so on. So basically we're gonna shadow them. We're gonna be their shadow. So here I have my favorite YouTuber. As I told you, I'm really interested in self-development. So I want you to make sure that you choose something that you are interested in. Don't choose a video about soccer if you are interested in basketball, okay? I hope we have that clear. I hope you're gonna hear it. Let's go, let's try.
Here's a shadow question for you.
Here's a shadow question for you. Here's a shadow question for you. Remember that repetition is the key. So I'm gonna just play it, say it, like from 4 to 5 times. If you can do more, if you don't get bored, that would be awesome.
Here's a shadow question for you if you had to pick.
Here's a shadow question for you if you had to pick. So listen, all of the words have similar stress? Not really. Here's a shadow question for you. If you had to pick, so had to was not stressed, and pick, the verb, is usually stressed. That was just a quick demonstration of the shadowing technique. On my YouTube channel, I have a YouTube video dedicated just to the shadowing technique, so you can click this link here after watching this video and see how it really works. I perfectly understand that mimicking and imitating native speakers might be pretty overwhelming and even boring, so just make sure that you do it for 5 minutes. We spend just 5 minutes on every segment of the study plan, so make sure that you mimic native speakers for just 5 minutes and we're gonna move on. I almost forgot about this very important detail, guys. Don't worry about getting it too perfect. It's about getting comfortable with the flow. It's about feeling it in your body. Remember that American placement is here. We don't want to speak from here, like we don't want to sound like this. We just want to create deeper voice from inside of our body. So just make sure that you observe native speakers, how they produce their speech, and try to mimic them. Like little kids. Little kids don't learn language as such. They just mimic. We just want to feel like little kids repeating after native speakers. Step number 4, last but absolutely not least, guys. Talk to yourself. I know it might sound a little weird, but I do that and it really works. I did that with Spanish, for example, when I was learning Spanish. I did that with English and it really works. So here I advise to you to talk to yourself because it's a daily routine. Obviously, finding a speaking partner is extremely important, but we're gonna talk about that in other videos. Here we want to focus on something that we can do on our own and how to be independent with that routine. That's why speaking to yourself is just a perfect solution. So get ready to have a conversation with a mirror. And again, it's just 5 minutes a day. So what I do the dishes, or I clean, or I do whatever, and I just talk to myself. I describe what I'm gonna do today, or my plans, my dreams, whatever comes to your mind. Just make sure that you speak out loud. The goal here is to practice thinking and expressing yourself in English without any pressure. So it's an amazing exercise to build your confidence because there is no one to judge you. There is no one that listens to you. It's just you with you. So let me wrap up this video video, guys, with a quick summary of our study plan. Step number 1, input. Listen to something, watch something that you like, that is in the area of your interest. Later on, we write a little bit, just for 5 minutes. Later on, we repeat after native speakers, we shadow them, and our final step would be talking to ourselves. And if you can find a speaking partner to practice daily, that would be amazing. But if not, no worries, it's enough that you have you. So here you have it, a powerful English study plan that fits into just 20 minutes of your day. Don't forget that consistency is the key. You need to do it every single day, or at least 5 times a week. Okay, it's just 20 minutes a day and it can change everything. It can be a real game changer. Just apply it and you will see how fast you get the results and how effective it is. If you find this study plan useful and helpful, please give this video a like and consider subscribing to my channel for more English tips. I hope to see you in the next one.